All right, everybody, we are back. We are unfortunately doing kind of a sad video now. Myself and DJ just found out today that we lost Dusty Rhodes. It was a surprise to me. Definitely, I think it was just as big of a surprise to DJ as it was to me. We knew that Dusty was getting a little bit older. He the last couple times we saw him, he didn't look the best, but I didn't think he would be passing away so quick. I mean, he was only 69, so you know it's not that old, especially for these days, when people get up to 80s, 90s. So I don't really know exactly what happened. I didn't really look at the report or any news reports or anything. I just saw that he passed away. It's sad. So hopefully WWE does something for him. They do some sort of memorial, maybe on SmackDown or Raw, something like that, because he still was working with the company. He had a Legends deal where he was doing kind of a lot of background work, storylines, developmental stuff, things like that. Um, the only thing that I was worried about was really what kind of happens with Gold Dust or Dustin, aka Gold Dust, and Cody right now. Because if you don't know, um, kind of the Rhodes family and the WWE have kind of had a little bit of a rocky past, and if you don't know exactly what went on, I'll kind of give it a little bit of a breakdown. Basically, in it was like mid 1989, after being fired from WCW, aka Jim Crockett Promotions. That was back when it was kind of still changing to WCW. Um, he was fired for a way he booked a match that WCW didn't like. Back then, he was the booker for WCW, aka Jim Crockett Promotions. So he came to the WWF, and he was put into the polka dotted common man gimmick that many felt was basically intended to humiliate him, just with his synonymy with JCP/WCW, because that was back even before the Monday Night Wars, when WCW would kind of there was still a war there between WCW and WWF. So they kind of used that. Then in the 90s he did leave the WWF to return to the WCW and ECW. Later on joining TNA, and then going to the independent circuit. And then he did return again in 2005 to sign the Legends deal. But again, all the history and the kind of bad blood with WCW versus WWF, many people, thought that it was also the reason that Vince, put Dusty in the polka dot trunks to kind of humiliate him, or try to humiliate him. Also, putting Gold or Dustin, aka Gold Dust, in that Gold Dust gimmick, because Dustin did a similar thing. He originally was in the WWF, then went to WCW, and then came back to WWF in '95 when they started the Gold Dust gimmick. So there's been a little bit of kind of rocky relationship, bad blood between WWF and the Rhodes family. Um, WWF or WWE now did a little storyline with it back when Goldust and Cody Rhodes were trying to get their jobs back. If you guys remember that storyline back, so they kind of reminded it of a little bit, but I still think WWE is trying to completely forget the past, and oh, we were never bad guys. But it just worries me that basically the reason that Cody Rhodes and Dustin had jobs in WWE again, I think was because of Dusty. Um, oh, they do have talent, so they could have gotten jobs anyway. But I think that was the big reason why they did. So I'm kind of worried for them. Um, but I mean, the most important thing is, we lost a legend in the business, not only WWF, but WCW, NWA. So many promotions that he's been in his life in professional wrestling. So it's kind of it's sad that we lost him. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully, I'm gonna look online to see exactly what happened because, like I said, I don't know. I just kind of saw it. I don't know if DJ knows any more than I do. But any thoughts on the tragic news today?
Yeah, my only thoughts, really, it's just sad, he's pretty young in age, I guess you could say. He was an older guy, but still had more years to go. He was really one of those guys who kind of kept you positive when you think about him in the ring and him, you know, him in the ring and him, his character, his persona really kept you on the positive note with the bionic elbow and the, you know, Dusty Rhodes Daddy, the whole, all of that, man. It was just really sad to see. I actually found out about it. I was on Instagram making a podcast Instagram just to make a podcast Instagram, and I was searching people to follow via hashtag WWE, and I would just see picture after picture, Dusty Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes. No idea why I was seeing so many pictures. I was just like, something's got to be up because you don't just see just picture after picture after picture of the same person, even no matter how popular they are, or whatever. So I looked on one of them and it said like R.I.P. Dusty Rhodes, and I was like, what? Like I was like just genuinely shocked because I was like, it was just so unexpected. You didn't hear about him having any illness or anything like that. I know, I even posted something after that. Seeing it, I tried to look up a little bit of it. I was going down the road at that point. Obviously, I'm not in my original place right now, so I was going down the road at that point. So I was still, trying to look it up, but not trying to wait as well. So I looked it up, and I think he had taken a fall, is what Wikipedia said. Multiple sources that I have checked said he had taken a fall. They took him to the hospital, and he ended up dying at the hospital. So it's a really just unfortunate situation. I think, I'm not really old enough to know about Dusty Rhodes' his like classic matches, classic rivalries, or anything like that. Which luckily I do have the network, so I can go back and watch some, which I'll probably definitely do now. But I feel like, he still had an impact on me just through his sons, through just his appearances on, WWE programming, even TNA programming, stuff like that. He definitely, I can remember things he would say, and I was like, yeah, and it's just kind of odd that Paul Heyman was talking about him so much with the, what's the money in the promos and stuff like that, and about a week later we hear about his passing a little over a week later. And it's just sad, you kind of seeing these legends that that you've kind of experienced firsthand pass away. It's not the same as somebody I've seen wrestle time and time again, but still having that impact, it's really sad. And how I am about this podcast and about this channel in general. I always like to keep it positive. So I'm gonna leave you with some bionic elbows, fellas. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with some bionic elbows to keep the spirits up. All right, just stay positive. If you guys can see this, just watch him drop the elbows on everybody, baby. Everybody, daddy. He's gonna drop them on everybody. I just want to keep it positive. If you guys get a chance, go ahead and just watch some network matches of him. I definitely will be. I think he actually has um, a rivalries series or a rivalries with, I think it was Ric Flair on the network as well. So I'll be checking that out too. But yeah, it's just sad. I'm just saddened by the news in general. Just because he's such a legend, he's such an icon. He's one of those guys that I'm gonna always remember. So I was just, I was saddened by it definitely. Um, any more thoughts or final thoughts or anything about that?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a big impact. I feel like he was similar to Paul Bearer in the fact that any interview I've seen with any WWE superstar, any wrestler from other companies, they never had. I've never seen anyone have a bad thing to say about either Dusty Rhodes or Paul Bearer. It's always, they were supportive. They helped the young guys. They had funny stories. I've never heard anything bad about them. So just losing somebody like that, especially in the business, because we always hear horror stories in the business about how this guy's an asshole or this guy's a jerk or whatever. To lose somebody who's genuinely a good guy and a nice guy and helpful, wanted to help the younger guys, it's sad, especially for the younger guys coming up in the performance center in NXT. They're not going to have this guy who can help them with promos, can help them with you know their characters and things like that. Because he was a character himself. And we don't really have that many guys who are really characters themselves. We have a bunch of guys who play characters, but we don't have a lot of guys who are characters themselves anymore. Um, so it was just sad, and I just was remembering my earliest memories of Dusty Rhodes that I remember seeing live were when he was in WCW, with the NWO at the time. So that was kind of my first introduction to him live. I had seen some older stuff before that, but as for seeing him on TV, that was my kind of first introduction to him. So, but it's just sad, hopefully, um, like I said, hopefully, Cody Rhodes and Dustin can keep on his memory and keep stay in WWE. I know Goldust a while back was having surgery and he was going to be out for 4 to 6 months. So hopefully he recovers. It's really sad, and there's not really much that you can say. Um, but the show must go on, I guess. But yeah, guys. I guess that's the end of this video. We don't really have much else to say. If you have any comments, any memories of Dusty Rhodes, anything you want to share, leave it in the comments. We are going to be doing another video after this. We're going to be doing the Money in the Bank prediction video. And then probably tomorrow, I'm thinking we might do TNA and NXT. It's been kind of a weird week for both of us, I think. So we'll get that video out next, the prediction video, because Money in the Bank is Sunday. So yeah, guys, definitely. You know, I and now we're watching the video, and it's sad. It's still weird to me. I can't. It hasn't hit me yet that he's actually like. I feel like it's a prank. I feel like it's a big joke, and he's gonna come out on Raw and be like, "Ha ha, just kidding," but that's not gonna happen. Which anyway, I don't know. We're done with this video because it's getting sad, and we want to keep positive. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in a few minutes or a couple days, depending on when you watch these videos. Because you could watch them now. Like Juggernaut. Are you watching? Are you watch? He's not watching because he doesn't care because he's not on the episode right now. So he's all mad that he's not on the episode. So he's not going to be anyway. Yeah, we can end the video because I'm gonna just keep rambling on about random stuff.